post a question here, for example, right now, and you're not able to use, let's say, Miro or WooClap, I think it's acceptable, Doc. Use Zoom to respond to me. Zoom here, there is something called chat. Can I see mine? Yes, the chat here. Okay, I can chat to everyone. We see your responses. So this should not bog you down. They just help you have a better learning experience. Doc, I think I should end it there. If and then ask participants to give us any question in regard to these tools, then I can respond to, or we can move to the next section.
Yeah, whoever has a question, maybe specifically on anything, but the tools, don't worry. Like now, I'll introduce you to the Miro right now. We learn them with time. So
yes.
Any questions from the participants?
Just one question.
Yes, Monica, go ahead.
On the assignments for WooClap, there's a plan that you're calling Muriah. Is it a species or? Because I can't find it.
In there? Which assignment?
No, on the assignments on the Moodle platform.
Oh, which sequence, please? Do you remember?
Yeah, what are the special requirements for the export of leaves of Muriah from Sierra Leone? Is it Microcitrus Muriah?
Yeah. That's the sequence. I can edit that.
It's supposed to be Microcitrus.
Do you remember the sequence?
Yes, supposed to be micro.
Just check, Doc, your Moodle.
I think it's sequence 1. No? I'm just trying to get that question specifically.
It should be sequence 1 of module 1.
1.1.
Yeah. Monica, kindly post, then Doc can correct.
Okay.
Yeah, those typos are usually there. I can correct right now so that
yes,
can move on.
I'll share on the chat. The chat.
Yeah, send him on the chat. I see, who else do I see the mic on? Any other feedback or question on that first session? So just to summarize that session, kindly let's make sure by the end of today we submit our group assignment. After presentations, you can share whatever presentations you have, then we can give feedback. And then also the individual assignments, those who have not sent, kindly send. Those who have not uploaded on the Moodle platform, now you know how to do it. Kindly upload by end of today, because I need to grade them tomorrow before we move to module 2, which is on Monday. Essentially, you cannot move to module 2 if we are not done with module 1. So please finish all the assignment and share by end of today. Then I can grade and give you feedback on Moodle by end of tomorrow. Is that okay?
And Dr. Catherine, they can use the link there to join the WhatsApp.
Okay. Yeah, so the link for WhatsApp is there. So I'll quickly now move to the next session, which will be the group presentations. So we'll start with Kenya. Who is representing Kenya?
Madam Hilda will do that.
Hilda, go ahead. Your 5 minutes, just go through it very quickly. Then I will do a thorough review later and give feedback.
Hilda, you are muted.
Just a moment, let me try to share.
Yeah. Let me make sure that you're enabled. Yeah, multiple participants can share. You're okay, you should be able to share.
No. Can I get that document? Is it coming? It's not.
You got it?
Are you seeing it? Not yet.
Not yet, yeah.
Maybe Dr. Catherine, you can allow her just to read through.
Maybe, yeah, actually, yeah, to save time. Hilda, maybe if you're not able to project, just read. I think that's a good idea.
Oh, yeah, just a moment. Okay. Let me share again, just a moment, this technology. Yeah. You are seeing it now?
Let me see.
Yes,
yes. Now go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, for group 1, we had 3 notifications of interceptions due to harmful organisms. And the first one is for FIMA, Fresh Produce Company. The details, that is the details. The exporter is FIMA Fresh Produce Limited, importing to Singh and the company in UK by air. Point of entry was Heathrow Airport, and the product capsicum, a vegetable, that is the category. The origin is who is the producer is FIMA Fresh Produce Limited. The volume that was intercepted was 28 kilograms due to Thermatotidia lecotreta. And the action taken in the destination country was destruction of the entire consignment. The place of point of export control was Heathrow Airport, and the date of interception was 19th October 2020. The same company had a notification due to the same product again, and the same point of entry, the volume being 720 kilograms at Heathrow Airport on 15th that is April 2020. And the phytosanitary certificate number is given there. So to evaluate this, we say the exporter had 2 interceptions due to the Thermatotidia lecotreta in 2020 with the same product and the destination. The risk of this notification is that it is very high, since that is a harmful organism to the UK or EU, and it's a quarantine pest, which can lead to more stringent measures, and being preferred in our produce capsicums, that's reducing our export volumes. And worse still, it can lead to a ban of chili exports. So that is the risk. And the actions that we have taken as a country, first of all, when there is such an interception, we restrict the company from exporting till they do a root cause, and they also explain what they are doing to correct that non-compliance. Then the inspectors go to the farm to do an audit to ascertain the root cause and the effectiveness of their corrective action. And of course, in the long term, we do capacity building for inspectors and the exporters on market requirements. We also guide the producers and exporters on establishment of pest-free places of production and the use of options for treatment in achieving compliance. We have also enhanced monitoring of the audit of the chilies through audits, and we used to do this quarterly, but we have revised that to monthly. That is for the chili exports. Then we also had another interception, number 3, by an exporter called the Go for Green Kenya Limited. The importer was Area Enterprises, and the mode of transport is by air. Point of entry, Belgium, Liège Airport. The product is a herb called taro, which is a vegetable herb. And the origin producer is the Go for Green Kenya. the volume was 120 kilograms. The harmful organism was Bemisia tabaci. Action taken at the destination was the destruction of the entire consignment. And the date of export control was October 28, 2020, and the phytosanitary certificate number is given there. The actions that were taken were almost the same. The company was restricted from exporting until they did a root cause and the corrective action, which was confirmed by the inspectors. Then we have also instituted quarterly audits for all the farms to assure compliance. And also we are doing capacity building for all exporters on scouting and pest management strategies for quality control at all critical points. I think that is it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hilda. That was a good presentation. So we go to the next group. We can give feedback together. That is Rwanda. Who is representing Rwanda? You can stop sharing. Rwanda. Who is representing for Rwanda, kindly?
Well, good morning.
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 I'm Ildefonse Niragire. I work for Rwandan NPPO. So you will excuse me because now I'm talking from the field.
Okay.
So that's why I'm using the telephone, and I will try to represent my team by reading what we have compiled regarding this assignment. So we in the assignment we are supposed to look for interceptions that Rwanda have had in commodities exported to EU. So we looked at those interceptions, and we found that we have had a number of notifications, and we had one. Different companies have had interceptions in different numbers, but recently we have had we took like the companies which is called AfriFood. It's a company which is exporting fresh produce. The second was Bahaj Food Limited, and the third one was Bella Flowers. The first company have had the interception on on Capscom. The interception was made on 19th January this year, and the reason, the cause was Tomatotibia recutrata, and the second company, which is Bahaj Limited, also was intercepted. The consignment of chili also. It has also had the interceptions on 27th January this year. And the reason was the same, Tomatotibia recutrata, and the interception was done in Belgium. Both companies, the interception was made in Belgium. The third company, which is Bella Flowers, it has exported a number of flowers, roses, and it has had the interceptions on the 2nd October 2020 in the Netherlands. So on our side, as a country, what to have done after receiving these notifications, we went back to the company and we made the we prescribed a number of requirements we gave the companies to fulfill, and just to ensure that those notifications, those interception will not reoccur. So among the requirement we asked the companies is to put in place monitoring programs in their farms to monitor force coding more. The issue about our cherries is that it is being grown outdoor, and the force coding moth is widespread in our country. So we tried to ask the farmers to put on traps in addition to other control measures in place, so that they can make sure that their farm do not have high infestations of force coding moth. The second measure, which is also required by the EU, say to register farms, those farms that are producing capsicum. Those farms we issued traceability codes, that is the registration number, and we can make sure that the produce which is produced in the farm, which is controlled, which have a monitoring system, and which the farmers are reporting regularly to the NPPO on the monitoring practices, are the ones where the produce is coming, where is being harvested. Another major is also the registrations of companies. We have improved our registration system. The companies which are having notification were warned. We issued letters for warning, and they have to make corrective measures in their farms, and they report in writing what they have put in place so that they can be inspected. So briefly, this is what I can say from the field, but we will submit the detailed report today.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Given you're not in, that was well done. Thank you so much, Nirangiri. So we go to now Eswatini, the group with the countries from Eswatini. Can see Jabulani, you're presenting. Go ahead.
Okay.
We can see it. Go ahead.
Just a second. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'll be presenting on behalf of Eswatini. I'm not going to waste much time with the introduction. Maybe I can start by reporting that we started receiving interception notification from the EU from 2016 up to 2020 growing season. And these notifications were due to harmful organisms and inappropriate documentations. So in light of these notifications, as an NPPO, we have ensured that because most of these notifications were from citrus fruits, we have tried to ensure that all the citrus fruit that we send to the EU complies with the EU directives. We normally use the systems approach as per the EU directives. The notifications are basically on two harmful organisms, which is the false coding moth and the citrus black spot. So when we export, I mean the system approach that we use for the management of FCM is the implementing regulation EU 2019-2072.62 option D, where the fruit have to be subjected to an effective FCM system approach to ensure that it's free from this pest. For the Phyllosticker citricapa, the citrus exporter, we export under the implementing regulation EU 2019-2072.60 option D. Again, it's the system approach. We decided to summarize the notification in a tabular form starting from 2017 up to 2020. So in 2017, we received only 3 interceptions. 2 was Phyllosticker citricapa and 1 was for FCM. In 2018, we had 4 interceptions, again 3 were for the harmful organisms I've mentioned above, and 1 was for invalid additional declarations. In 2019, we only received 18 notifications. All of them were for invalid additional declarations. And in 2020, we received only 1 notification, which means basically for the last 2 years, we haven't had EU notification on interception of harmful organisms. The exporter, in 2017, the notifications were from citrus, Swaziland citrus, which is found around Sogo Peak Bend. And in 2018, it was United Plantations, which have 2 plants. One is at Tambote and the other one is in the Northern Hogo. So basically, our notifications come from 2 major citrus exporters, which is the United Plantations and the Swaziland citrus. The name of the importer or consignee, these are the agents that they use. I hope you can see from the screen. One's from Barcelona, Spain. The other interceptions were from Netherlands. And the mode of transport is sea, which takes about between 6 and 8 weeks. The EU entry point in 2017, it was Barcelona, Puerto, and then the following years, it was Rotterdam in the Netherlands. That's the product we send, the citrus sinensis. The origin I've already mentioned, that is from citrus, Swaziland, the citrus estate and United Plantations, and those are the volumes that were intercepted. In 2017, it was to 26,061 kg, which is about 26 tons. In the following year, it was 20 tons and 11, around 12 tons. Those are the names of the harmful organism I've already mentioned, that is FCM and CPS, which is citrus plague spot. So this consignment were sent on, the interceptions were made on those dates. In 2017, the interception was on the 21st of September 2017. The name of the inspectors, we've got 4 inspectors which are stationed in the regions. We've got 4 regions. So the people who inspected those consignments were from those 2 regions, which is the Bombo and the Hoho region. Actions that were taken due to the notifications. In 2017, after we received those notifications, actually from 2016, we had a meeting with the exporter and we agreed that the orchard, which was orchard 38, had over 8 trees. So we agreed that they should remove the old trees and plant young trees. We also removed orchard 38 from all citrus fruits which were earmarked for the EU market. We've also strengthened the pre-harvest inspections. We used to do one, but after this notification, we decided to do them more often. We also conducted strict pre-harvest or pack house inspections. Previously, they used to, the NPPO used to send their own inspectors just to supervise the pre-packing in these estates. But in the recent years, we have engaged and trained their own staff, which has really helped reduce the number of interceptions that we are receiving from the EU. I've already mentioned the...
Jabulani, move a bit faster.
Yes.
Your time is up. You can move a bit faster because we can read. Just move a bit faster.
Okay.
Yep. Our time is not good.
All right. All right. I've already mentioned the PRM options, which is EU regulations 2019-2073.16 option D. Evaluation of the notification of interceptions. The risk to the EU community is that if we don't do adequate inspection, we might send a harmful organism into their community. So, which might later result to Eswatini being banned from exporting to the NPP, to the EU. So in closing, we, as an NPPO, we're working together with the citrus growers in the country to ensure that we comply with the EU directives. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was very well done and comprehensive. Thank you for representing Rwanda. So we go to the last group before the feedback. Yes?
For representing Eswatini.
Oh, Eswatini, sorry. I'm still remembering Rwanda. I'm sorry about that. So you go to the last group. We had Uganda, Zimbabwe, and Seychelles. Who is presenting for this one? Monica or who? Group 4? Monica, who is presenting?
We were unable to meet as a group. I had written to Brenda. We had not met as a group, as we are not on the WhatsApp group.
Oh, but now you can meet. You know the other group members. You can meet today and submit by end of the day.
Okay, I just did mine. So, but
you can present even yours. Then you can share with them before you submit the final copy today. You can quickly maybe share what you have.
Okay, just post it. The one that I put on email, I can present. It's a very short one.
Okay, let me.
Okay. So when she's sharing what I presented, Zimbabwe, we have about 48 value chains that we export to the EU, but that's flowers, fruits, and vegetables. But on notifications, we have a number of pests that are intercepted when it comes to some of these value chains. So I put my presentations pointing out the first harmful organism is Liriomyza hudobrensis, and it's mostly intercepted on Gypsophila aster and Eryngium. And then we were supposed to look at the trend analysis from 2017, 2018, 2019, up to 2020. So in 2017, we had only one interception. And then in 2018, we had 4 interceptions. And then 2019, the interceptions rose to 7. But in 2020, we didn't have any interception. Then Liriomyza trifoli, it's mostly intercepted on 3 crops, Gypsophila and Solidago. Our interception was in 2017. Then Spodoptera frugipeda, it's mostly intercepted on aster, rosa, capsicum, eryngium, solidago. And then over the years, as you can see, 5, 2, 3, and 4. And then Tephritidi, it's mostly the fruit flies. There was an interception on guava, but officially we don't export guava. So this one, after investigations, we discovered that there were in some travelers who had tried to smuggle guavas into the United Kingdom. But officially on sativum and eryngium. And then tomatotibia, it's a pest that's giving us headache on capsicum and citrus. And then Bemisia tabasi, we have it on Solidago, aster, and Hypericum. And then Helicoverpa amigera, we had 1 interception, but they couldn't give us the crop. So we had to write back to say what was happening. It was just plants for plantain. So we were not sure what happened there. And then Phylostica citricapa, like Swaziland, we have it on citrus. We had it last year from the Lowveld. I can say that's my presentation, and I'd like to thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. The only bit you missed was the action taken, but I think you can update now when you meet as a group, so that you finalize it the way it was done. So quickly, I'll give you some quick feedback. I'll share my screen. Where's my document? So, but generally the first part, as I look for the group assignment, all of you actually were able to pick out the issues due to the interception and provide the details that we had requested. So I think that one across all the groups was well done. So here it is. So basically this session here, you captured and you are able to give even some more than 3 notifications due to interception of HOs. And some were very thorough also in terms of giving these details, entry points, the exporter, who is the importer, the modes of transport. So not dwell on that so much. And the challenges, I think you're able to pick. Most of them I could see were ranging across documentation issues and phytosanitary certificates. I could see you've tried to do some farm restrictions until they do some corrective actions. And some of you are actually strengthening interception, especially at pre-harvest and in the pack houses, doing audits regularly. But some of the elements I thought should come out clearly in the last section, I think that did not come out very clearly for some of the groups, was where you inform, you do the informing, and this is done to the exporter, the producer, the inspector concerned, the point of export control concerned, and also all the inspectors and points of export control. Then the other element that I thought should be captured was when you do the investigation. So basically at the exporter, it's good to check the traceability. Does the exporter, for example, know the intercepted ANFU organism, whether he carried out the inspection, what were the results of that inspection, what action was taken, and the results of that inspection. So you need to do proper investigation at that level. And also at the producer level, you need to check also the traceability, inspect all the fields. I could see some of you did this, especially I think Eswatini, you highlighted this very clearly, and Kenya, the presence of this harmful, intercepted harmful organism. checking whether the producer actually carried out the inspections, what were the results, what measures were taken, these are corrective measures, and the treatments that were done to control the harmful organism, things like records, registers, just to establish further details. And then regarding the inspection, how was it done and what procedures were used, maybe which crops are involved or inspected, all that. Then the next step after the investigation is where you take corrective action. I think for me, this is very critical. So what are the measures taken for the exporter, the producer, and the organization of official controls, plus the inspector, and more precise inspections. So inspections of especially the higher quantity of fruits, vegetable, or plants. Then do some training, adaptation of official procedures, and where necessary, you can do an export ban. So I can see some were captured, so you can check maybe what you missed, but these steps are very important, the informing, the investigation, and finally where you take the corrective measure. And this is where the kind of approach we would want you to take so that you can sort out these issues. So I see we are not doing very well on time, but that was very well done for me. I think when we all learn from each other, especially from the countries, it's better than dealing on so many presentations. So I want us to do a 5 minutes break. Then when we come back, we can do the second session and summarize. I think the next one will be very short. We can just take 5 minutes just for a coffee break or bathroom break. So we'll be back at 12:05. Yeah, 12:05, that should be adequate. So you can take a short break and then we resume at 12:05.
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes, go ahead.
So you talked about on the feedback.
Yes.
Where you said to conduct inspection on higher quantity of product, I think. Is it higher quantity or higher quality?
Quality, so sorry, it's quality,
yes,
sorry.
Quality, not quantity.
Yeah, sorry, we do these materials very quickly. If you see my typos, please be pointing out, I can correct. Sure. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Sure. And if you look at all the activities I've developed, they are more on fruits and vegetables because first of all, these are priority crops for export and in terms of quality. So yes, thank you about that. I'll correct that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Doc, do you want to post recording?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the break. Remind me to put it back when we come.
Yes, Doc.
Oh, you're back, eh?
Yes. I've been here.
You never left.
I'm trying to work on the assignment deadlines.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Eh? So I'll post the Miro, what do you call it? Miro link so that I can show them how to do it. So we are going to do a short brainstorming session before I summarize the functions and responsibilities of the NPPOs and contracting bodies. So I've posted a link. Where is my chat? Yeah, a link. Click on it and open, then we can move on together. You just click on the link. I'll share mine meanwhile, and then I can take you through the exercise. Sorry. Can you see my screen? Doc,
yes,
can
Doc,
you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see a screen.
Yes, I can see.
Yes.
Have you been able to click from your side?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone, you are there? So I've already created the board.
Some of us are using our phones in the field.
Sorry, even in the phone, it's easy to do it.
I was saying, unfortunately, some of us are using the phone.
Yeah, even the phone, it's okay. You can still get it. Just click on put it on your either Google Chrome or whatever app you're using in your smartphone. And it
works on the phone.
It will work.
Just click the link. Don't worry.
Click. on the link, whether using your phone or whatever, it will still bring and you'll be able to edit. So as it does it, the others, are you there? Are you able to access this board? The rest? Doc, are you able to access it?
Yes.
Okay.
When you click on it, you'll be asked to allow it to access your email. So just click allow, and then the next one say go to board, and then gonna open up.
Yeah, I think I'll also share the link on email.
Yes, and also maybe I can post on the WhatsApp also.
Yeah, post also on WhatsApp. Let's have all the options. So,
Doc, it's not displaying that specific tile, specific board.
Okay, I can, let me share directly.
Let me show you my
share directly.
Okay.
On email. I think it's easier.
Or let me show you from my screen what they should be seeing from their end.
Okay.
You stop sharing for a minute. So this is what they can see from my doc. Are you seeing my screen?
Let me stop. Yeah. No.
This is what you can see at my end.
Oh, they're not able to see the board. I think. That's okay, but I've invited members, so now
yes, invite them first.
Yeah, just go to your email and click on the link. Are we ready? Doc, are you able to access now from what I've shared on the email?
The link has not come yet.
I've sent an email.
In the email, right?
And the link is there. It should come directly.
The email link has not come, but let me just, again, now that you have created you have shared, let me again try to see if it's going to work out.
Okay.
In a second. Aha, what you need to give us permission, huh?
Yeah, I've put, you can edit.
Oh, you see, stop sharing for a minute. Then I show you something.
Just a minute, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now let them use this link. I've given rights to edit. Yeah, click the other one. I think the other one I've given you access. So, the other one has access.
Switch user.
Yeah.
Sorry, because access, right?
Yeah, just try the other
dashboard.
link.
Okay.
Use the other link I've posted and see whether it will work.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just do that real quick.
Just check. You should be able to edit now.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So let them use the last link.
Yeah, I can see you are there already editing. The others, I need to start. Okay, as you click the. Yes.
Yes, Monica.
Am I there?
I don't see you, Monica. Just let me show you first how to do it. Then we move on.
It gave me a code, and then I clicked on the code. Then they said, accept. Then I
accept. Then.
And then.
I don't know whether now.
And then Doc, because you're the first time user, you see a lot of things there. So just click next.
Yeah, next. Yeah, that's why I told them to join first and download the app and join. It's easier when you've already joined. So
and then when you ask to upgrade, don't upgrade, just click cancel, and then you can
don't upgrade. Yeah. Now, as you join, so if you look at my left corner, there are a lot of things you can do. You can create templates. I've already done this, but you can create even another template or pick the ones that are here. So even in your company meetings or other trainings, you can use this tool. It's very interactive, and there are already templates there, or you can create your own, like the one I've done. So just to show you that one. I need to remove this. Okay, then there is somewhere where there is text. You can click on it and type something. Then we have even shapes. You can add different shapes. You can even add arrows if you want to link maybe points that are in one group. For example, if I pick this arrow, maybe I want to link group 1 and 2 here, I can put an arrow there, and you can edit the way you want. You can move it around. So I say maybe these two, the first questions, they are related. One of the function is pest surveillance and group 2. So they are linked. I can link using an arrow. I can delete it. There are pens here that you can use, also different pens, different colors. So a lot of things, there are comments, like when you submit, I can write a comment and post it maybe to group 2. Yeah, I can undo that. Oops, sorry. The other thing, then there are different frames. You can change the frame, like the one I've used, I can change and use a different one, depending on the ones that are given here. You can do, like this is a frame now, and I can start some work here, some more work, and I tell you to write a sticky note and type some work there. And you can edit that sticky note, move it around. So that's a different frame. So it's a big board. So I can do this frame, and I can do another one here, add another one, some more. The board is big. You can go all the way to the end. So it's just like a blackboard or a flip chart when you're in a normal face-to-face meeting. So it's the same. I can delete this now. And then, of course, you can do comments. You can do a chat, even chat within your groups and discuss things. You can put cards on the board. You can even screen share like I'm doing. You can vote. Maybe you are discussing one of the functions and responsibility of NPPO. Maybe you can chat together, vote for one, no, that one, no, we don't want that one, let's add another one. You can video chat. So it has a lot of things. Maybe at your own pace, you can have a look at all these functions. But for today, I just wanted you first to know how to use the board. So I'll make it a bit bigger. So I wanted you to, first of all, be familiar with the tool. And then as we move on, we'll learn more. And here you can see up here, you can actually even share like the way I've shared, so that many of you can edit on it. So what I want us to do in this group activity is to identify the roles and responsibilities of NPPOs and functions of contracting parties. And then if you have a comment, you can add the right side. I've given an example. You just take a sticky note and type the function. For example, I can add a sticky note here, add sticky note. So I'll put it, maybe I'm in group 1, I'll drag that sticky note. Uh-oh. So you can drag it around, and then I can type another functions. Maybe I can say audits. And with this one, try to be very economical with Word. You can change the color, the size, like I can change the color of my sticky note here. I say now I want to put this in group 2. Oh, sorry. Where did it go? Oh, have you taken my sticky note?
No, not yet. It's down, just scroll down.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for it.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah, it's here.
Under that,
yeah,
there it is.
Don't click on it. Yeah.
Bingo.
So I want to add under group 3, so I can add that sticky note there. So audit. So you can add as many as you can. You can make this screen bigger. You can see where I'm clicking. You can make it smaller. So you can add. Now I've already picked the colors with you to make the work easier. So if you are in group 1, you can add in group 1, group 2, you can use the blue one, and group 3, you can use the brown one, so that we see how many functions you can come up with. So let's do this faster. I need to see now, like Frederick is already there. I need to see the others already there now working.
Doc, how many groups are we? Are we 4 groups?
Felipe, you are there. You can divide them, Doc, as I check who is in. I see Felipe.
Okay. Only
Felipe, you're already there, but I don't see your cursor, or you've not started editing. Let me divide them. Yeah, I see your cursor now, Felipe. The others kindly join so that we do it together. Just 5 minutes, a summary of functions. And one side, remember, is for functions for NPPOs, the other one for contracting parties. So, and so yeah, Doc, now you can divide them into groups.
I was saying that, do you want to add group 3? I'm seeing group 1, 2, and group
3,
4.
yeah, just let them be 3, it's easier, because there are 8.
3 groups, right?
Yeah, you can do, one will have 2.
Okay, okay. So I think in the list I'm having beside me here, I just use that list. So if you can hear me, Monica, Msibi and Eric, group 1, according to my list here. And
Monica,
then
you are in
Hilda,
group 1.
Yeah, and then Eric, no, and then Hilda, Niragire, and Jabulani are in group 2. And then group 3 are 2 guys, Martin and Philip, Murangira. So Martin Jogo and Murangira are in group 3. Jabulani, Niragire, and Hilda are in group 2. And then Eric Sifefile, Msibi, I hope I pronounced it right. And Monica, you are in group 1. If you have a problem joining, let us know. Kindly, if you go to the chat in the Zoom, there's a link there that Doc has shared, the last link. Just, there are 3, choose the very last link. Click on that to just bring you on to that board immediately. And then focus on the board, don't focus on the Zoom now. Anybody with a problem?
Taking me to the video.
I am not seeing Eric here. Eric, are you with us?
Monica, just left click, like where I am, you say add sticky note, like that. Then you can type on it something. Then you drag it to your group. Like now you're in group 1, you can drag like this one here, and then you type the function. Someone can type the one I've dragged already there. And make sure, depending on your group, you can change the color of the sticky note. It comes automatically. You can change the color depending on which group you are. You can do a lot of, yeah, I see Martin. Martin, you're in group? Martin is in group what, Doc?
Martin is group 3.
3, yeah?
Group 3.
Yeah.
Yes. The same.
So Martin,
yes,
you just left click, like I've added a sticky note, and you can change the color for group 3 is this one. You can change the color. Now you can type on that sticky note and then drag it here. I've already, let me take it back. Try to drag that one and type on it.
So many things going on here, I don't know.
Don't look at what the other people are doing.
We are all building the thing together.
Yeah, and don't look at the other people are moving. You move yours.
Let them go wherever they're going. You go your way.
Yeah, don't check what others are doing. Hilda, have you managed to post one, or I can show you again?
Good.
Hilda, you can go like here, left click, add the sticky note. You are in which group? Yeah, where I am here. I don't know your group, but you can change the color. Type on it, drag it wherever you want. So I've added a sticky note. You can take that one, drag it. Just click on it and drag it to where your group is, and then type on it.
I'm not seeing Eric. Eric, are you with us?
Yeah, Eric, I don't
think Eric must have had an issue. Yeah, he's not connected.
Musimbi, is Musimbi there?
No, Musimbi too has left. Ah, he's back. Musimbi.
What are you back?
Hello, Dr.
Yes.
Yes, you can get you, Msibi.
Just want how do I, where are the sticky notes? I can't get one.
Left click, go where outside that thing, you left click anywhere, then there is option add sticky note. You are seeing my screen. Left click.
Msibi.
Anywhere on the whiteboard, left click, you'll
outside that table.
It will come.
Outside the table. If you're on a phone, then you just long press.
Some are just moving around.
I know. The first time, he is just moving everywhere.
The first time,
plan
so
is
it's
saying hi to everybody. Eric, I need to see you in the mirror.
Which group am I in?
Monica, you're in group 1, where there are yellow sticky notes.
Oh.
And there are many, and they're not even written. These other ones, these brown ones should be.
Click any and type something.
Oh, okay. What is exercise?
So exercise is that we have that that table, and that table has functions and duties of the NPPOs, and you are required to think of all those functions and the responsibilities and then post them there. So pick a sticky note, Hilda, you left click here like they have done. Add a sticky note like I'm going to add. I've just added one, and here it is for me. And then I don't want it to be here, so I want to drag it anywhere where I want it to be, like this.
Do I type on the sticky note? It's refusing.
Yeah, type.
I
Yeah,
can
click on
it
it and type.
Double click on
like
it and
this.
type.
You can click on it and type. Yeah.
Oh, I've dragged it, but it's refusing to type.
Oh no! Just click on it and start typing. You'll see it will start working.
You blink and then you're able to type.
Yeah. Just click on it and start typing. Martin, what are you looking for?
For the sticky note. Eric, where you are missing out on the group, on the mirror.
It's fun. I'm seeing the monitoring. Hilda, this is your monitoring. Let me drag it for you. Yes, I've dragged it for you. I think you're in this group. So I'll put it there.
That link, Eric, on the chat there, the last link, and then join the mirror there side to know how to use that to do collaborative tasks like we're doing right now.
I've succeeded in one. I think, hey, someone has taken mine.
That was me.
I knew somebody will take yours, so bring another one and move it faster before the thief takes it.
You should see from my side. It's so nice seeing you moving around. It's very nice. Jabulo and Frederick, you are fighting over one.
Somebody's sitting each other's. Yeah, Jabulo, we are there together. So I'm leaving that one for you. Type something there.
Can you still see me?
Which one? This one?
Yes,
yes, where you are, Jabulo, where you are, there, this one. I've just clicked it, I've left it for you. So type it, double click it, then type inside there.
This one?
Yes, that one. And Hitler, you need to move and type something.
Well, someone has taken my sticky notes there.
But Monica, I don't see you.
Jabulo, you're not even moving, you're just stuck there.
Monica, you see my screen. You are there, but it shows you are idle, like you're not typing anything. The active ones are Hilda, Martin, Jabulo, and Msimbi.
I'm trying, but
just left click anywhere outside that box. You left click and then choose add sticky note. Then the note will come. You can edit on it.
Okay.
Doc, I have a challenge. I'm in the village, so I keep on losing my network.
Oh, sorry about that. We understand. I'll keep you adding you as you drop out.
I'm in the village.
It's okay,
no
Eric.
problem.
We will keep you posted how to work with it, okay?
Yeah, we'll do this again next week.
And see what they're doing.
Okay, thank you.
But
Okay,
observe
okay.
for now, the link is there. You can do it later in the evening when you get home.
Lindo, you stole my sticky note, Lindo.
Okay.
This is
Doc, you know, we have to move the next task. Huh?
Yeah, I think, guys, now that you've learned practice on it, you still have this link. Once, because I've shared it, in the evening, you can open it and add more functions in summary. Some are typing too many things, but I see some are doing very well. So you can stop and then you can continue. Make sure you have the app Miro, either in your laptop or in your phone. So I'll stop sharing this. But that was exciting. It was very interactive.
Yeah, that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
You
So
really
learn
moved up and
about
down.
it. Complete by evening, then I'll compile all what you have. So you can continue editing, and then tomorrow I can compile it. I can help you put it in different groups. Just make sure your sticky note is in the color of your group, the groups that you've been allocated. So I'll go to the next bit very quickly, just to summarize actually what we've done. So I'll present very quickly a summary of the functions and obligations of NPPOs. You have the documents and most of the information. So I'll move just quickly to summarize, save time, but you can read again this on your own. So if you see my screen, I want to first just to mention something. Most of the functions, even from what you're typing, and that's why I shared that activity first, you already know them. But the problem comes when it comes to sustainability of those functions by the NPPO, maybe because of its organization and structure. And Dr. Frederick later will tell us more about how our NPPO are organized, the different models that are used by the different countries. But some of the sustainability issues I was able to compile include sourcing sustainable financing for NPPO activities. The activities are clear, and I could see them from the assignment. Most of you are in line with these activities. Then long-term staffing arrangement and planning. This is a big problem, coupled with the fact that, first of all, even the staff we have maybe in terms of staff development is a problem. And later when I introduce the 4 pillars of SPSS system, you're going to see that staff development is a big issue. Retaining them and even having long-term staff is also a big problem, coupled with the planning issues. Then also incorporating contingency plans, considering the changes that happen politically. Some of our NPPO actually under Ministry of Agriculture, others are under some government organization. So politics come into play, and so it becomes very difficult to have sustainable contingency plans in case of any changes, and also planning for pest incursions. And then emergency situations also are a big problem in terms of sustainability, to ensure that the organization can really be sustained and will remain relevant over a long period of time. So these are some of the issues I picked on sustainability. Now, in summary, you already have this, and I see you captured most of this. Some of the responsibility of NPPOs, of course, is issuers of phytosanitary certificates, survey of growing plants so that you monitor spread and of the pests and control them and outbreaks, and even the occurrence in the first place, to inspect consignments of plants and other regulated articles that are moving in our international markets, the disinfestation and disinfection of consignments of plants and other regulated articles, again, that are moving in our international trade. The other one is to protect endangered areas and designation, maintenance and surveillance of pest-free areas and areas of low pest prevalence. Then, of course, your key responsibility also that you're already doing also from what you presented is the conducting of pest risk analysis, ensuring phytosanitary security of consignments after certification. And this is with regard to the composition, substitution, and reinfestation, to just ensure that is maintained prior to export. Then the other one I had mentioned earlier, even which is a problem in sustainability of our, depending on our structures of NPPO, is the training and development of staff. And we are going to look at this later also in detail. Sorry. Then for the contracting party obligations, of course, the IPPC, and I've shared these documents, I've highlighted a few obligations. One is to set up and administer an NPPO to undertake these activities that we've seen. And this is found in Article 4. part 2, and then to designate an official IPPC contact person to submit a description of NPPO and any changes in the organization to the IPPC Secretariat, to provide a description of the NPPO organizational arrangements for plant protection to other contracting party when they request, and to perform other functions as required for implementation. Also, to issue phytosanitary regulations that the NPPO is supposed to comply to. Then shall not require also phytosanitary measures for non-regulated pests, and to distribute information on regulated pests and their way of control and prevention. They're also supposed to carry out research and investigation in the field of plant protection, conduct pest surveillance, develop and maintain information on the pest status in order, of course, to support categorization of pests and development of appropriate phytosanitary measures. Of course, they'll share these with the NPPO for implementation. They're also supposed to publish and transmit phytosanitary requirements, restrictions, and prohibitions to other contracting parties. And these, they give this if they are directly affected by these measures. And also to make available rationale for the phytosanitary requirements that they have, restrictions and prohibitions to other contracting party, again, upon request. They are supposed to also respect the model phytosanitary certificate as set out by IPPC, and also they are required to...
could you record? My bad.
Oh my, I told you to remind me. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, thank you. I think this posting is not a good idea. Normally, me, I just I put it throughout. No, but no, it's recording. Just check from your end. I think good. Yeah, it's recording. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and finally, as I mentioned, the contracting party obligation is also to require additional declarations to be technically justified. Now, how do we then strengthen capacities of NPPOs in the ACP countries like you? Then the support required, of course, include technical assistance in regard to knowledge and skills. And this can be done at different levels, the technical people and also managerial level. Then also in terms of competencies, remember knowledge and skills are different from competencies. So knowledge, basically you can have knowledge, but you are not competent to undertake a certain activity as an NPPO. So being competent means then being able to mobilize the knowledge that you have and skills into actionable tasks and being able to perform that task and meet the expectations. So in terms of competencies, we need a lot of awareness raising in our NPPO in ACP countries. There's need for information, training, production, and facilitation. And later, as an output of this training, we are going to see what type of support specifically do you as NPPO in each country require to build your capacity or strengthen your capacity in areas where you think you're weak. Now, also just quickly, the other thing, and I think this came out clearly in the first session, in capacity strengthening for your NPPO functions, we do it at different levels. So you can do it at a system level, organization level, or individual level. And that's why people are asking, what should we do for smallholder farmers? What should I do as a manager? So when you categorize into this level, it becomes very easy. Like now for the system level, the dimension for this capacity building in terms of strengthening would include issues to do with policies, laws, regulations, and standards, being there to provide a framework for plant protection, including things like management, communication, and coordination of the different organizations that are involved. At the organizational level, we look at your mission, your structure, your operational procedures, and the culture of the organization, including, of course, the plant protection, as well as issues to do with human, financial, and information resources and infrastructures. Now, at individual level, usually we ignore this level. And this will include building or strengthening capacity of individuals or staff in terms of skills, knowledge, competencies, issues to do with your experience, and also ethics. So by referring to individual, organization, and system of a country, then it's recognized that national phytosanitary capacity combines the knowledge and functions of many entities in that country. So not only NPPO. So as we move on, apart from you being an NPPO, there are other stakeholders who are involved. And later when I take you through the systems approach to NPPO functions in SPSS systems, we are going at national level, we are going to look at one of the key things is involvement or having consensus between stakeholders within a certain country, not just within just that NPPO. So we are going to look at that next week. Now, also in terms of capacity strengthening, these are the issues we think that should be done. One is to identify and develop training programs for all staff at all levels of competencies. I know some countries you have a training unit, others maybe you might not have a training unit, you're still starting out. Then you need to prepare training manuals, SOPs, and written instructions for each specific activity. You need in-country training of inspectors in all regions. And by that, this training, I was having a discussion the other day with some experts. It's not just training, but also mobilizing the knowledge and skills learned from that training into competencies, into actually implementable activities. And actually people are doing something. Like, for example, begin asking yourself, rather this training, what have I picked? What can I go and change with the way I do things? And that should be at individual level, but also at your organizational level and with other stakeholders within your country. So also, there's issues to do with overseas tours for senior management staff of NPPO so that you become familiar with other plant health regulatory systems, and also overseas or in-country specialist training for technical personnel as required to enhance and maintain technical skills. In legal capacity, for effective operation of an NPPO, you need really a sound primary and secondary phytosanitary legislation based on the IPPC. Again, this you can do, given after Dr. Frederick takes us through the models, you'll know who is supposed to do this together with you as a NPPO, because the systems are different from one country to the other. Of course, you need clear written procedures and administrative support for enforcement of these legal provisions. And once you have these in place, then you should make sure that all staff are actually familiar with the phytosanitary regulations in place, both locally and internationally. They are aware of their roles and responsibilities. Like now, we're already highlighting this, and have a copy of the phytosanitary regulation in the information kit. So a program also is required for development of manuals and SOPs also based on these phytosanitary regulations, and also border agencies are supposed to be familiar with these legislations. In management, and I think some of you fall under management, or you are supervisor somewhere, you are required across all functions and programs to have the necessary managerial skills to manage an NPPO. So this is a requirement, and not only within your NPPO, in most organizations, if you're at a managerial level, then you need to have those skills built. And that's why the capacity building or strengthening of capacity comes in. Then you should be familiar with all the programs, including pest surveillance, import regulation, export certification, regionalization, treatment, and diagnostic. So this has to be properly managed by qualified personnel. I know sometimes in African countries, it's about where you come from, what you do, or how I know you, but this is the normal procedure. And then regionally, regional manager or regional program coordinator should also be prepared according to responsibilities at that level. Also, the administrative staff need to possess, of course, knowledge in areas like finance, human resource, information and communication, especially if the NPPO is semi-autonomous and responsible for these functions. Later, again, one of the pillars I'll talk about is communication between stakeholders. So you need that, and I talked of resource mobilization, very important. Finance, finance, finance. And I said CP also has this specific training on finance, because as a manager, you need these skills. So of course, now I'll talk about resource mobilization. As you can see, all these activities and for proper functioning of an NPPO, it's very important that you mobilize resources. So you need to identify first, because you can't do everything at the same time. You need to identify priority programs and activities, and make sure you allocate activities for programs, or you allocate resources for programs and activities that are of priority or that will make a difference. So that ensures that you have sustainable use of resources. For example, I'll give a quick example. Why would an NPPO buy a well-equipped lab and then you don't have, for example, personnel who can actually operate those machines or equipment to maybe do sample analysis or things like that? So that you are putting that resource in the wrong place. So you start with the other way around, which is hiring of qualified staff in the first place. So government budgetary provisions, of course, to NPPO most of the time are insufficient and usually will change from year to year depending on government priorities. So for example, like now, not only in the NPPO, government priorities have changed. It's about COVID, locusts, and other things. So you really need to know as a NPPO that these are limited. So where can I get extra resource for this particular activity? Yeah, you can recommend an activity, initiate an activity or program, but where will the resources come from, given that the ones from the government are limiting? So also NPPO should ensure that the national legal frameworks make adequate provision for charging fees for services where applicable. This is a very good way to generate income, to generate some resources for activities that are required to support the other stakeholders, like our farmers. Then you need to negotiate an arrangement where part or all these fees are retained for operation and constant improvement of the NPPO. That's very important. I don't have to explain that. Now, if your NPPO does not possess all the required competencies and facilities, you should ensure that you have access to them. Sometimes you'll see in other countries, NPPOs even collaborating with other stakeholders or institutions which have that capacity. So that is open. So you need to work closely with this stakeholder. Of course, there is a process where you can do this, do the request, and have them collaborating with you in this regard. Then this, when you are choosing the collaborating institution and service providers, in case you do not have that capacity, you are supposed to be identify them for all the phytosanitary programs. You need to look at the surveillance, the diagnosis, the treatment, and also import-export procedure. So these external services, basically you can engage it through an authorization system, depending on your NPPO and depending on the service that you want to get from this. But ultimately, the responsibility to ensure that things move, things are done the right way, the correct procedures are used, will remain with the NPPO, not that external service provider. Now, to summarize, I want to summarize these essential activities that require strengthening. I've already shown how you can strengthen them. So I've already given you this document, kindly read it. And this particular one, I've taken it from page 15 because I think it summarizes what we've seen. This is the guide to functioning of a national plant protection according to IPPC 2015. And the concept really also brings in regionalization, which refers to issues of defining pest-free zones, zones with low pest surveillance, PFPS, and the PFPS. So look at this. This is summarized very well. Now, to strengthen the capacities, first you need to look at all these activity, look at the operation of this your NPPO phytosanitary program. So you are here. This is the NPPO. Of course, regionally, you need some reporting and communication to the regional plant protection organization, the IPPC, the government, private sector, and civil society. So this constant reporting and communication is very important. Then, of course, I mentioned you have your third-party service providers who maybe are providing services or products that you do not have within the NPPO. So in terms of activities or operations, they are divided into surveillance, import regulation, the export system, and regionalization. And you can see under each, like for example, the pest surveillance, you have the responsibility of developing this national pest list, doing pest risk analysis, and also coming up with a regulated pest list. Then you can see for import regulations, there are regulatory frameworks, infrastructure and procedures, and import verification. You have export system there where you have legal authority, resources, infrastructure, procedures, and then issuance of export certification. In the regional, of course, you can see their establishment of pest-free areas, areas of low pest prevalence, and the rest. So basically that summarizes it. So of course, in doing this, you have challenges. And being a group of motivated and mobilized experts, we expect that out of this training to address the challenges we've seen, we'll be able to build your skills and competencies by providing this technical assistance. So the expected result, of course, out of this training is that really we can help you develop a national integrated action plan. It might be in a draft form, but next week, I'll introduce this and we can start developing some draft priority action plan that when you go back to your countries, really you can say, we can use this to actually change or strengthen the capacity and address some of the challenges. So So under that, you need to understand, of course, the poly-ACP approach, and I'll introduce this next week. They have a new SPSS assessment tool, and I'll introduce you to it. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, not only that, but I'll borrow from FAO and other organizations. So we'll look at how you can design really to strengthen your capacity as NPPOs, how you can really design and implement these action plans as a way of creating impact where you are, or in whatever role you are in the NPPO. So I'll stop there. Any questions? The exercise we can do later after Dr. Frederick will do during the breakout session.
Doc, I think let's pose the questions and then have them after my.
Yeah, I want to combine with yours, as then they can do them together. Yeah, so you can go ahead.
I think yes, and then we can have the questions together.
Yeah, yeah. So you can have your presentation, maybe in summary, because they already have these models. You can just mention them quickly, and then they can read more on the Moodle.
And you may want to be my timer so that I don't go past time, because I think you should be having this in 10 minutes.
Sure, I'll keep a track. Go ahead.
My screen is visible, right?
Yeah, we can see it, Doc. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Doc. So participants, we want to walk you through the structure and management of the NPPO. There could be things that you understand, but then it's important just to have the bigger picture, the entire structure within your hand, and know in your region which structure and which form management are you guys subscribing to or falling under. So an NPPO basically, the structure should actually reflect the function, the capacity, and of course the mandate that is discharged within that NPPO, and that is in regard to its responsibilities, and of course towards fulfilling that function effectively and efficiently. So the structure has to fall within that capacity, the function, and then that desire or that need to discharge that function or that responsibility efficiently and effectively. Now that basically defines what you refer as NPPO structure. And so I think I will pass this because so long as you get this, you get the capacity and the functions right in regard to the responsibilities, then the scope and the nature of the operation falls in place, because that's going to fall within your need to deliver your functions efficiently and effectively. And then of course they need to define the roles and the powers and responsibilities that are assigned to within the to the NPPO, and something important, how information and the communication flows to different levels within the NPPO, and then also to the different stakeholders that co-work with that NPPO. Consider that NPPO does not stand on its like an island. There are a couple of other entities that share notes and communication that NPPO going to rely on. So that is important. That you have a clear structure of communication and how that information can be shared. I think I have to emphasize that, because unless this is gotten right, then the scope, the power, and the roles and the nature and the function of that NPPO actually cannot really be achieved. With that in mind, then let me just move somewhere here. Depending on the size of the country, the NPPO structure may actually be decentralized or it can be regional. So it can have sub-regional and provincial offices in different regions and having different level of autonomy. But then in a decentralized structure, then regional and sub-regional autonomy should conform to the national operational procedure. So based on your country and how big it is, or your region, then you may have decentralized approach, or you may have regional. So regional is a case where it's like what we call a centralized. So we have the big organization, and then it's taking care of every other sub modules under it, which could be at provincial level or district level. But then if it's decentralized, then you have the sub units doing their work, but then all of them are being coordinated and being managed by the national operational procedures, okay, and guidelines of the NPPO in the region. So I think I'll go to the, so the NPPO need to have adequate resources to discharge its responsibilities, the way Dr. Catherine just illustrated for us. And so there's need that we draft policies that are result-oriented, that could be able to help us get a way to get these resources. She's given us a couple of mechanisms. Probably could charge services that you're offering to the public and able to retain this resource to help us support our operations as NPPOs. But also just to add on that, there is the stakeholders relationship also becomes very critical when you're thinking about how to get the resources. So, but key point here is the need for finances, and that is important. Unless you have that, then your operations as an NPPO would be stalled. In regard to administrative capacities, the strategic planning, there is, so you have to know where you want to be today, then in the next 5 years, what do you want to achieve? And then, of course, there's a need for liaison with international organizations like the regional NPPO. And then there's some aspect of information management. So data and the information that you have within your capacity or your reach, this information must be managed, must be shared if there's need for that. And then, of course, policy guideline is very important. There is logistics that also comes in, and administrative support. And then, of course, meetings, facilities for meetings and training, because NPPO is actually a lot of training that must happen. So you need to have that capacity. And then, of course, the media function, because you have to communicate and share this, what you're doing and that kind of, and that data. So that becomes very important. So in regard to technical capacities, you need to have the strength or being knowledgeable and competent in regard to surveillance, of course, of pests, diagnostic of this pest inspection, sampling and testing. Doc just mentioned about having a machine that cannot operate. So it means that before you can buy that machine, we need to have that capacity in regard to competence to be able to operate that machine. So another thing that falls is the issue of testing, and of course, and sampling. Then there's treatment. And then the last bit that's very important will be exportation and importation certificates and verification. So export certificate and import verification. So these 6 or so factors need to be taken into consideration if you're going to have a check on technical capacity. So as an NPPO, be sure that as a manager in the NPPO, that you have administrative capacities, and then you have also technical capacity. Remember that all these things are relying on the further part that has to do with resources to discharge this, to have these capacities. So first things first, check on the resources. And then, of course, and then when that is gotten right, then you're now able to achieve your core mandate as an NPPO, or providing efficient and effective services in regard to your function and in regard to your capacity. So then real quick, border provisions, you need to have effective communication systems. I think I discussed that. Then information management systems should be also in place because that data that you're getting you need to deduce information out of it, and that should be shared with the regional NPPOs and even to the export market, to the export community. So that's very critical, and also for the policy making within the region that the NPPO covers. So the location and nature of physical space and the operational areas in relation to other border functions is important. And then, of course, you need to have lab which are well equipped, and of course, you should be able to have the competent staff operate them, as I mentioned earlier. And then transport is important. You're supposed to go to the field. You are told that there's a pest reported in this given region. Unless you travel there, you can't really be able to identify that pest or just to do surveillance on that. So adequate transport is very critical. And all this still boarding up to efficient resources and adequate resources being available to the NPPO. So the model, structural model, I think I spent some little time here. One, we have the case where the plant protection and quarantine sections or departments of the Ministry of Agriculture functions as the NPPO. So we take that department. So the Ministry of Agriculture has a department on plant protection and quarantine, and then that now works at the NPPO. That is the first model. Works perfectly well in some regions. The only challenge is this, so dependent on the resources allocated to, of course, by the Ministry of Agriculture and the limited flexibility in resource allocation, and independent, of course, revenue generation, because they're under it's a department under the Ministry of Agriculture. And then fees often go to the National Treasury. Of course, that's a fact, rather than back to the NPPO for its improvement. So it means that the model of charging services and training some resources for the services that you offer may not really apply to this kind of like a model. Then the other model is Ministry of Agriculture serves as the designated NPPO. And the challenges with this is that it may lack independence in functions and limited cooperation among units, and may require an administrative instrument to promote shared goals and priority identification. And then it's prone to political changes and interventions. The other model is NPPOs with some key functions delegated to third party. So instead, you have a third party that coordinates all the core functions of the NPPO. So in general, has an institutional stable NPPO with the ability to fund operations. Fees are normally retained to improve the NPPO and its operations. And this may require legal binding contractual arrangement, of course. And then audited robust monitoring of procedures and processes should be in place. The other one, I think the fourth one is semi-autonomous or autonomous NPPO. So this one has independence in establishing its own vision, of course, mission, because it's autonomous or semi-autonomous. And then it's actually flexible in terms of establishment of necessary systems and policies, because they actually work on this by themselves. They're not under a bigger umbrella, like it had in the other cases of model 1, 2, and 3. And then, of course, there's that flexibility of budget and that independence in the budgetary. And then, of course, they have strong business orientation and sound like an interesting model. The other model approach is integrated institution. So this consolidates all 3 SPS regulatory functions. That is the plant health, animal health, and the food safety competences under a single agency. So you have an agency that integrates all these 3 important areas of SPSS regulations and functions into one. And then this agency now takes charge of all those operations, including the one for the NPPO. So this, of course, has the advantage of adequate technical and managerial support for each functional unit. And of course, it has that the common, the resources are available and they can be shared across the board. So you don't have to worry that you don't have this equipment. If the health department has it, just go share it out. So that's another approach that you can have for the NPP, as described in the IPPC articles for 1. So sustainability of the NPPO, I think I may want to re-echo this, though Dr. talked about it and also going to come in our last module. But then adequate and appropriately trained staff is important. If you're not going to have competent staff, then trust me, you're not going to make much progress. The NPPO will not be sustainable because the functions of the NPPO are hands-on and requires very, very competent staff. So another thing is to make it sustainable, there's need for access to adequate resources. There's good need for good staff development and retention practices. Need to get funding, of course, I mentioned that earlier on. Need to prioritize for sanitary programs, and of course, you need to be independent from political influence. This last point can be tricky sometimes, but you have to get a way around it. So I think I want to end it there. The other one is a bit of some tasks. I have shared this in the work lab. You can engage with it. I think, Doc, we get a way to have them engage these tasks. Just to, it will be important to know which model is your region subscribing to, and what challenges are you guys experiencing in regard to it, and how can we improve performance of your NPPO amidst those challenges, and then what's the way forward. So, Doc, back to you, and participant, thank you so much. So now we can take questions, Doc.
Okay. Yeah, as we take questions, maybe or comments, we can be posting the assignment. I think, Doc, because of time, they can do this and share by email.
Yes.
So I'll post it here on chat mine. It's also on the Moodle, just to see whether they have captured the information today. So participants, any questions before I give you instructions for these activities?
And Doc, as you say that, I want to request you to give us 2 more minutes. I know we are really past that time. So kindly, we request to give us 3 minutes. We're almost done, like 5 minutes from now we'll be done. So just a little bit patience. Okay, Doc.
Okay. So any questions, participants? Hello? Were we that Dara? Monica, I'll go by the list. Monica, any questions, comments?
first model that Dr. presented,
Mm.
are there countries practicing it? Because it looks like it's very streamlined and very efficient. And it means, but a lot of people will lose jobs because at entry and exit,
I knew that will come up.
I think, Doc, because of time, let me just post this to Monica. She can answer maybe later on. I would want it, those are the ideal IPPC models for NPPO operations, but we should know which one works for you for Zimbabwe. You know?
Yeah, which one are they using first? Yeah.
Are you autonomous? Are you working under the Ministry of Agriculture, like a department? Are you?
We are using the first model. We are using the first model.
The first model.
Okay.
We are department is the Ministry of Agriculture.
Yes.
Okay.
Any challenges with that, especially resource mobilization?
Yes, obviously.
Yes, Murangira.
A very long way in communication.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's the same.
And memos get lost.
Or they are locked in a locker until after a few months.
Yes.
So I think for each model, there are limitations. There are also advantages. Yeah, but there are some that work. Maybe we should borrow on best practices for those ones. Monica.
Dr. Murangira had some question. Maybe he can post.
Oh yeah, Felipe?
Yes, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
So mine, thank you very much. Mine, it's a smaller comment. I want to appreciate for those presentations that has been presented there. But I want to come up on the presentation presented by Dr. Catherine. So I want to ask if NPPO on the structure of NPPO should have a standalone staff who is in charge of planning, who should always plan the activities of NPPO to correspond with the other parties or the other stakeholders that may support the NPPO's activity. I think it could be better than what it is operating like now.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, Felipe, that's a good comment, actually. Actually, most of those activities, because if you look at most of the NPPOs, they actually have one person who is managing most of these activities, operational activities. And given that they are heavy, it becomes very difficult, especially if they leave and you have already trained him, you have built the capacity, and then he goes. Then you hire someone else. By the time now that person even gets the experience, knows about that particular job, it becomes and that's a common in ACP countries. We lose staff very fast. You have already spent resources to train them, like you guys, the way you're being trained, and then they leave. And then because most of us, we do not have a staff training unit or staff development unit, it becomes very hard for you to mentor, even as you leave, to mentor another person whom you are working with, so that if you leave, that person can fill the gap. We don't have such a system, so it becomes difficult. So if that person leaves and he was doing planning, he was doing all the inspections, monitoring everything, then it means there's a gap. And in short, that NPPO almost comes down to his knees. So we need to be careful with those issues. In terms of specific actions, we need experts who are in that area. First of all, you need to recruit people who are actually experts in that area, train them, and this training should also be continuous. You need to have refresher courses once in a while, regularly, not just a once-off and then it stops. So we even need schedules for that. So that's I like that comment. Yeah. And you saw I raised that planning as a big challenge. Yeah. So who else do I see? The others. Martin, are you okay? Martin?
Yes, I am.
Any comments or question?
Not.
Okay. Msimbi, any question? Comment? And participants, one thing I want to encourage you, even as we move to module 2, because things are getting more You'll be getting more information. We are progressing. Now we started basic level. We are progressing. By module 4, we'll be at an advanced level. You'll be about to graduate, and you'll have more information than what we are giving this week. That's how we've designed this training. So please participate. We are not owners of information. We don't have all the information. The key thing about training is to learn from each other. Learn what Rwanda is doing, learn what Kenya is doing, what Uganda is doing, what Zimbabwe is doing. We learn together. Learn from me, I learn from Daktari here, we learn from Monica, we learn from Martin. So let's participate, and in the next session, let's keep asking question, comments. If you have even an idea, yeah, this is a challenge, but I have this solution. It has worked in our contest, it has worked in our NPPO. Or even as we present, something good can come, like the way Felipe has brought out an issue. It comes, and one of the problem we had or challenges, we have a solution, and we can document this as a feedback for this training, because that's a solution that was not there. So let's all go through the content for module 1. We have up to tomorrow. And then I'm going to grade your assignments. You really have to submit by end of today. I need to grade so that we move on to the next module. So finalize all the remaining. Send me all the group assignments. Send me all your individual assignments. Those who have not uploaded on the Moodle platform, Dr. Frederick has already shown you. If you still have issues, call us, even on WhatsApp. We can do a one-on-one Zoom or even on telephone call, and we can show you how to upload. If you are stuck on an assignment, we told you last time, we are here to support you. And we are expert, we're always working, so feel free at any time to look for us. So we are willing, we are here for you. We have allocated this 1 month for you guys, so make use of that time. Let's share information, let's share experiences, and build each other for the good of our countries. So I think we end there, not unless, Doc, you have something, you can summarize and we finish.
Thank you so much, Doc. I think from my end, we are good to go. I have checked the group, the assignment submissions is not really very good. Kindly submit the assignment, and also engagement with the sequences is not very good, because normally there are tasks embedded in the sequence, the quizzes. So you're able to see if you have done them. So kindly engage on that so that by tomorrow, tomorrow Friday, right? You're able to be done. Yes,
no, they should submit today, because we need to grade them. Tomorrow is our last day for the module. So because Monday we start module 2.
Module 2, yes. Let's not carry the work forward. Otherwise, if there's no question from any of us, see you again on Monday. We'll share the link for the conversation for our next Zoom meeting, and we'll also post these recordings. By the way, the recording for Monday, if you missed it, is on the Moodle platform. This one also, we're going to put it there for your reference, so you can access it sometime when you are free. Otherwise, from my end, bye-bye, and you have a good weekend. And
bye,
take care,
guys. Yeah, nice seeing you again. See you on Monday.
Bye, people.
Bye.
Before you go,
yes.
Bye. The work club.
Bye.
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 Monica is talking, but I don't know what she's saying.
I only had the book club. I don't know what else she said.
I'm saying to Doctor, I'm saying to you,
on
yes.
One, on the work club,
yes,
there are those, when I try to press on them, I can't answer those questions.
You can even answer, if you are not able to use it, Monica, you can copy them and just do on Word and share, no problem. Or you can also do directly on the Moodle, because you click the answer and it goes. If it's correct, it will tell you. If it's wrong, it will tell you. So you have those 3 options. Yeah.
On that, on sequence 1.1.
Yes. They are the same ones on the sequence in the Moodle. Now for this case, sequence.
I'll do. Okay, I'll do one-on-one with you just now.
Okay. Just send me an email, or you can WhatsApp me. You have my email. You remember we went to even eat in a restaurant in Nairobi. I still remember that.
Yes, I'm coming back to Nairobi.
Dr. Catherine and Monica, we have ended this meeting because you guys are going for dinner, and it is COVID time.
Goodbye. You guys.
Okay, guys. Bye-bye. Take care.
Okay.